As I drive or walk out along the roads in Malaysia, I see these large masses of overlapping leaves, so I decided to try and identify one of these plants. I say one because I don't know if many species are growing together, but I think that by comparing this one plant with other similar species, you would be able to identify the others if you find them. So let me start identifying this one plant in the trigger. The dichotomously branched pinnae with a bud in the fork strongly indicated that the fern belonged to the family Gleicheniaceae. The pectinate pinnae segments and X-induciate sori provided further support for the identity. Gleicheniaceae has 6 genera: Diplopterygium, Dicranopteris, Gleichenella, Gleichenia, Stromatopteris, and Sticherus. The plant sample was unlikely to be Stromatopteris, as Stromatopteris is peculiar in its erect rhizome branches and unbranched fronds, apart from occasional true dichotomy. The genus Stromatopteris is also not reported to occur in Malaysia. The sample is also unlikely to be Diplopterygium, as Diplopterygium has unforked pinnae, once forked veins on the pinnae segment, and 2 to 5 sporangia per sorus, unlike the sample with forked pinnae, twice forked veins on the pinnae, and 8 to 17 sporangia per sorus. The sample differed from the genus Gleichenia because the ultimate segments of Gleichenia measure 1 to 2 mm long and 1 to 2 mm wide, whereas the ultimate segment of the sample is larger, around 5 to 55 mm long and 1 to 4.5 mm wide. Also, Gleichenia only has 2 to 4 sporangia per sorus, whereas the sample has 8 to 17 sporangia per sorus. And the veins of Gleichenia are once forked, while the veins of the sample are twice forked. The sample was not from the genus Sticherus because in the Sticherus, axis subtending the pseudo-dichotomously branched ultimate leaflets bear costal segments, unlike the sample which lacks these costal segments. The sample also has many more sori per sporangia than reported for Sticherus. A distinct difference between the sample from species in the genus Gleichenella is the presence of accessory branches on the sample. So the sample is probably Dicranopteris due to its 1. Dichotomously branched pinnae, 2. Lack of costal segments on the axis subtending the pseudo-dichotomously branched ultimate leaflets, 3. Distinctly oblong or linear ultimate segments, 5 to 55 mm long and 1 to 4.5 mm wide, 4. The presence of accessory leaflets, 5. 8 to 17 sporangia per sorus, and 6. Ultimate segments with veins between the midvein and margin branch more than once. After identifying the sample's genus, the next step was to determine the species. I limited my search to only those species reported as found in Malaysia, which are Gleicheniaceae curranii, Gleicheniopteris speciosa, Gleicheniopteris pubigera, Gleicheniopteris linearis, and Gleicheniopteris clemensiae. It was simplest to eliminate Gleicheniopteris speciosa as the identity of the sample because Gleicheniopteris speciosa has an asymmetrical pattern of growth not seen in the sample. It was challenging to identify the sample from among the other 4 species found in Malaysia, as they are very similar in structure. Gleicheniopteris curranii was eliminated as the identity of the sample as it differed from the sample by its larger size, veins forked as many as 4 times, and monolete spores. Gleicheniopteris clemensiae too was excluded as the ultimate branches of Gleicheniopteris clemensiae are reported as 30 to 55 cm long, which is longer than that observed in the sample. Other characteristics that eliminated the sample as Gleicheniopteris clemensiae are the monolete spores and copious dark red rigid hairs persistent near the forks reported in Gleicheniopteris clemensiae but not seen in the sample. Gleicheniopteris pubigera did not have the grayish-green to blue color on the lower surface of the pinnae and had trilate spores, so was determined not to be the identity of the sample. The possible identity of the sample then was Gleicheniopteris linearis. The sample, as in Gleicheniopteris linearis, had 1. Equal-sized branches at each fork, with the ultimate branches about 15 to 25 centimeters long and 4 to 6 centimeters wide. 2. Accessory leaflets at most forks. 3. A greenish-blue color on the underside of the pinnae. 4. Each sorus comprising 8 to 17 sporangia and 5 trilete spores. Interestingly, the species Gleicheniopteris pedata and Gleicheniopteris linearis have been reported as tricky to discriminate. One difference reported was Gleicheniopteris pedata had ultimate branches with only 3 to 4 basal internal segments gradually reduced, while Gleicheniopteris linearis had ultimate branches with approximately 10 basal internal segments gradually reduced. For further reference, here is a list of publications on Gleicheniopteris and Gleicheniaceae. Please subscribe to my channel if you would like to know how to identify other plants. Thank you for watching.